Star Wars is a fan favorite for millions, including myself personally. Growing up watching the original movies, and especially when Episode 1 first came out when I was about 7 years old, it was just exciting being a Star Wars fan when I was a kid. I had to play my own Star Wars game. Shadows of the Empire was my personal favorite on the Nintendo 64. Clunky game, but fun today. Star Wars Rogue Squadron, an awesome flight combat game on that system. You even have stuff like Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace. I love this cheesy movie, but not this game. I made a video about a year ago about every Star Wars game on the original PlayStation. Check that video out if you're interested. A game I've been hunching to talk about for a while now on this channel because it just doesn't get talked about a lot is Star Wars Demolition. It's pretty obvious what you get here. It's just Twisted Metal but in the Star Wars universe, right? I sat down and played this game for a few hours and definitely want to talk about if it's worth your time to check out or not. Sit back, chill, get your Yoda blanket. Let's talk about Star Wars Demolition for the original PlayStation. Star Wars Demolition was released in the year 2000 for the original PlayStation. It was developed by Luxoflux and published by LucasArts. Luxoflux, however you pronounce that, they've made some other stuff similar to Star Wars Demolition, like Vigilante 8. So Star Wars Demolition was not their first go at a vehicular combat game. They also made the console version of Shrek 2. They even made stuff like the True Crime games as well. That all came out around the PS2 Xbox era. The game takes place during the Galactic Civil War era. Jabba the Hutt wants to host a tournament for vehicular combat. He wanted to do pod racing, but the Galactic Empire banned that. So Jabba, being a scruffy nerf herder, decides to do his own tournament and have all the best to come around to fight to the death. This game is a vehicular combat game all the way, like the aforementioned Vigilante 8. You can control with the left or right stick to steer, and you can even use DualShock controls if you want. Holding the X button will accelerate. Circle doesn't do anything if you don't have auto-targeting on. If you do have it on, then you can use that to aim at enemies. Triangle can adjust your rear view so you can see what's behind you. R2, you press that and you'll shoot your primary weapon. You can hold either R1 or R2 and you'll do a full charge. Pressing L2 will fire your secondary weapon if you've acquired one. You can also hold L1, L2 to charge your secondary weapon. The goal in this game is incredibly simple. You just battle to the death, shoot each other down. When you destroyed everyone in the arena, you move on to the next round if it's tournament mode. Which goes to my next point. You've got 4 modes in this game. Tournament mode is kind of your normal style here. You go through 4 big rounds, and each round gets harder and there's more enemies. Battle mode is kind of a quick play. You can do a single round, and you can play up to 4 opponents in this. Good for practicing. High stakes mode is where you wager credits against each other, and if you do happen to win, you'll win some extra credits, and you can use that to unlock characters. The last mode they have is Hunt a Droid, and essentially it's like a mini game. You just kind of go around, shoot all these probe droids, and how fast you can do it in the time limit. So what's going on your screen here? It does take some time to get used to. The top left is pretty obvious. It's your mini-map, and all the icons in red are enemies that are not targeted. Green means it's targeted. The top right part is very confusing at first, because I had no idea what it was meaning. Your green meter on the bottom is your health. The blue on top is your shields. That vertical red meter in the middle, which I thought was your health, that's actually your ammo supply. The 2 columns beside the ammo, shaped in 4s kinda, that is your charge meter. So whenever you're charging, you'll see it go up. When it's filled up, you're ready to unleash your charge shot. If you run out of shields or ammo, there are bases in the level that you can go to, and you can kind of go in these garage type things, and you'll slowly get all your stuff back. The blue one will give you your shield bonus. Now, these do run out at some point, and they can even be destroyed, so you gotta be careful and get them when you can. If you do happen to die in tournament mode on the round, you can just retry that round again. You don't have to do the whole thing, and you can adjust the difficulty settings and options. Your primary weapon is typically a blaster laser gun or something like that. Your secondary weapon is really kind of similar to other vehicle combat games. This is the kind that you can get a lot of different things for. Some examples of secondary weapons, like the tractor beam here, this will pull enemies to you and they're stunned for a second so you can get a few shots on them. There's also thermal detonators, because what would a Star Wars game without those would be? and pretty much these are like mines. You kind of throw them behind you, and they'll just blow up enemies who come across. There's concussion missiles as well as proton torpedoes, and these do pack a punch on your enemy, so it definitely gets their shields down. I really do like the secondary weapon variety. They have like maybe 6-7 different ones or so, and it's all Star Wars themed. The last upgrade here is you can get some stuff to add to your vehicle, and you can get like an invisibility cloak. It makes it to where they can't see you and target you, yet you lose your shields. You can get a shield booster, so if you're low on shields and you're far away from one of those shield garages, get one of those and you'll get a little bit of blue stuff. Last one here is energy absorbers, the yellow ones, and you can use these to acquire energy from firing at your enemies. So, who's the roster in this game? Well, I guess the main character of this game, Wade Vox. Yep, he has a land speeder, and he's pretty standard for the most part. I used him whenever I played tournament mode. He's not too bad. You've got Boba Fett here because he's always down to get some money, and he comes in just as Boba Fett, no ship. That's so badass. You get to be this one guy controlling an AT-ST. This one's pretty fun. Or a Sing. Somehow, I guess she made it to the Galactic Civil War, and she is here on a swoop bike. You've got this Wookiee named Quagga, or Quagga, and he's in an AAT. And there's these two chicks that have a snow speeder that are in the Rebel Alliance, so you get to play as them. They did a good job with the ship variety, as well as including some characters from the franchise that are canon and non-canon. Locations are also spot on. You've got your classics, Tatooine, you got Hoth, Naboo. Really, it's all here what you're familiar with. They even have the freaking Death Star, second Death Star as a matter of fact. I don't know how that works. The level design definitely complements all what you can do though. They're very open, spacious, and fun to experiment around going through teleporters. Star Wars Demolition is a pretty good game. I like how it does some things to stand out from the rest of the other vehicular combat games. Now, it's definitely not the best one on the system. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat games like Twisted Metal or Vigilante 8, but as far as how they executed it being a vehicular combat Star Wars game, I think they did a pretty good job. They had a pretty good amount of characters that you can pick from. They represented the source material very well, and of course, the most important thing, good gameplay. There's some unlockable characters that you can get, as well as you can play with the second player, so definitely a good in and out game here. This game is also on the Sega Dreamcast, and that version might even be better than the PlayStation 1 version. So if you're a Dreamcast fan and you'd rather play it there, I don't blame you for doing that. If you want to own this game on original hardware for the PS1, it's about a $15 game, so not too bad at all. It's also available on the PS5 for like $10 or so, so if you want to play it on modern systems, you can do that too. Well, that's all I've got to say about this game. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and sticking to the end. If you have anything to say, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you got to say about this game, Star Wars in general, or if you think they should make a Jar Jar Binks game. Until next time, y'all take it easy.